Okay, we are starting today's trading day at kind of a bad place to get in because we can see that it's been uptrending and we are at a peak and it looks like it might be turning and dropping a little bit. So we want to get into a long position, but this is not a good time to do it quite yet. Okay, I zoomed into the 4-hour chart here. And you can see that we are at a resistance level. So I'm kind of concerned that this drop might be pretty big. I don't know what's going to happen. It is holding right now. Okay, and then a few minutes later, it shot up. And we're still, it takes a lot to get through that resistance level. I would still consider us being at the resistance level. Just want to be really cautious in getting in, even though it seems to be very strongly going up right now. To try to give me some perspective while I'm trying to figure out what to do in trading this morning. I haven't made any trades yet. I laid out a Fibonacci line, and you can see on the 1-hour chart up here, the low and then the high and then the lowest low over here. And we have a Fibonacci line laid out at 55.60, but that is really high. That's like at the 261.8% line, which is kind of unusual. So I'm not sure that this Fibonacci line is super accurate. I don't know. Not sure what to think about that. It does seem to be matching the levels that we've hit so far, and it is possible because we've had a huge big drop that we've been recovering from. It's just a little iffy right now. Okay, so I decided to finally make a trade and I decided to go short. It seemed to be, the MACD here was telling me that it was probably going to be dropping. So just to be safe, I went ahead and put in a stop order up here at a decent place and trying to follow it down. Put it kind of tight there and it got stopped out. And at this point, I decided that it was probably still going to be going up for a while. And it does look like it's starting to break through that resistance level over here. So I'm kind of leaning more towards a long position right now, even though the MACD on the short term is really, really high. And so is the RSI. So I put in a long order and it's going up. So that's encouraging. I got out as soon as it hesitated. So I only made $75 on that first trade. Actually, excuse me, the second trade, because the first one I did a short and lost money. So actually, I made more on that second trade than I realized. I just had to get back my losses. Okay, so it kind of leveled out, and so I decided to go ahead and get in another long. And that worked out pretty well for me. I put in an exit order right there and got out. That was my next trade, I think. Let me go back and look. So that was the end of trade 3. Okay, and then it dropped, or it kind of leveled off a little bit there, and I decided to get into another long position, and it dropped quite a bit there. So I should have waited on that one. That was a little bit premature, and I kind of knew that as soon as I placed the order. I just got in too soon. I have this tendency to want to be in a trade like all the time, and so when I get out, I immediately want to get back in again, and that's really not the best way to trade. You just need to step back and watch the price action and just time it to what you see, not just because you want to get back into the, one of the biggest things is if it like shoots up and you miss out on that. If you get out too soon, you get FOMO, they call it, and you want to get back in, and you get back in a bad place, and it drops like this. So I think I'll be all right still, but that's an unfortunate drop. Okay, it is bouncing off of this line. This one trade is sitting at a $262 loss, which is about the max that I'd want to do. And I'm getting a little bit concerned on the 5-minute chart over here that we're starting to see a red candle, and I could definitely see it dropping. Now we see a second red candle. And so I decided at this point, I'm down to a $312 loss. I decided I'd like to be in a short, and I do think it's probably going to drop. It is holding at the support right through here. But I think getting into a short is a good idea. right? And then my computer froze up as soon as I placed that trade. So I was looking on my phone and sure enough, it went up. And so I realized that trade probably wasn't the best of trades. And when I got it, so I could actually access my computer again, it was up here and I placed another order to reverse and then it dropped. So now I've like lost money and like 3 trades in a row here. I'm getting a little bit discouraged. It's not opening bell yet. It's 9:06. And so a lot of times, we'll kind of flatten out like the last half hour until the last 5 minutes, and then it will probably go up at that point. So we may be sitting here for a while. I don't know. I played around with the different charts and actually really kind of like the 2000 tick chart. As the market goes a little bit faster, I slow down my chart a little bit. And so I really like the 2000 tick chart. It seems to be meshing with the levels pretty well. So I left it on that. All right, and then here I decided, nope, it's going to drop. So I did another reverse order. So this is another loss order for myself, and now I'm at a $450 loss. And it did jog up there, so now I'm at a $525 loss. All right, now it's dropping a little bit, and I went ahead and just got out there, and I whittled it down to $337 loss. So I made some money on that last trade finally. Okay, this is looking like it's kind of leveling off right through here, and it's very possible that we are going to be seeing an uptick now. MACD is just turning. It's a little premature. I went in and put in an order, and this is now looking very good. It's a long order, and I put in an exit order right at the peak there, just a couple ticks below, which I think is pretty reasonable. And it's heading up there very quickly, so that's awesome. I lowered it down just a little bit to make sure I didn't miss out when it kind of hesitated. And I basically gotten back all my losses now, and I'm at just a little bit to the good. Okay, and again, I can look at this now and say, oh, this is just too soon to get in. This is not good. The MACD is kind of leveling off again, and the RSI is really high. But I went ahead and put in a long order. I kind of wish I hadn't. And sure enough, it dropped. I could have seen that one coming. I'm getting a little bit tired at this point, a little bit frustrated, and a little bit too excited because I got back all those losses. I just made back $525. So I figure that kind of goes to my head and I think, okay, I got this. I think I know what I'm doing now. But I don't. I'm getting in too soon. Okay, and I recovered that, so that's good. I put in an exit order at a fairly small place. Looks like it's going to take. And there we go. And got executed there, and then immediately regretted it and got into another long. And of course it dropped because I keep doing this. Okay, it dropped down, and I put in a stop order. It's like, yeah, I just don't want to stomach a big loss again. So let me go back and look at that. So, oh, excuse me. Let me go back one more time. All right, I actually got into a short position. Awesome. All right, so I'm actually making money on this trade. So it's dropping. This is not a stop order, excuse me. This is where I hope to get out. And I got out a little bit sooner, looks like, than that order that I had placed. And now I have basically made nothing. I've gotten back all my losses, but I haven't made anything. And we're looking at the chart here. It does kind of look like it's tipping over. We're seeing a recovery from this huge big jump up this morning. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops. Kind of waiting for a good opportunity to get into a short. Nope. I decided to go long. Oh, it's been a tricky market this morning. Okay, so I actually did a market order just to make sure that I got in because it was moving up pretty quickly. So I got into a long position there and put an exit order in up here. And then I sandwiched it, put a stop order in to make sure that I would get out. And I did. So, and then I guess I instantly regretted it, got into another long position, put an exit order in up here at a very small profit, kind of missed out on that, and then it finally took it. So now I'm at $200 profit, 14 trades, which is outrageous. And if you look at my record, 9 out of the 14 were actually profitable. None of them were really big. The biggest one was a profit, so that's good, but just a lot of trades. So it's a lot of indecision and bad trading. I ended up making 137 at least, but yeah, I decided to stop at 10 o'clock from here on out as much as I can, just because I just physically can't do any more than that without really getting tired and discouraged. So anyway, rough trading day, and I'm glad it's over.